In this video, we shall look at a few problems associated with damped simple harmonic motion. First, a brief introduction on the subject. First, let's look at this simple harmonic oscillator. So you have a spring and you have a mass. And when you pull this mass a little bit down by a certain distance and release, it will oscillate up and down like that. We know that if the spring constant is k, the mass of the block is m, then the acceleration of this block can be written according to Newton's second law in a following manner. This is Hooke's law associated with the spring force of the spring. Now let's assume this entire system is immersed in water, like that. Now while this block oscillates up and down, it will experience a damping force that slows down its motion. And this damping force can be written in a following manner: minus a constant times its speed. So this damping force acts in such a way that faster the block moves, the greater the damping force. And this minus sign indicates it always opposes the motion. How do we factor this factor here, minus bv, into that equation? Well, we simply add the factor on the right-hand side of this equation in the following manner. So this is Newton's second law for a damped simple harmonic motion. The b here is called the damping constant. And the unit of this damping constant is kg per second. How does the amplitude of such a oscillation can be written in terms of mathematical function? It can be written in the following manner. The position of this oscillator, of course now we are assuming the x-axis runs vertically. So if this is the origin, as the block goes up and down within that liquid, the displacement of that block from the origin is given by that function xt. And this is how the function looks like. The original or the initial amplitude times e to the power b over 2 mt times cosine omega prime t, where omega prime is the frequency of the system. A typical plot of this function would look something like this. It's an oscillatory function with diminishing amplitude, and this diminishing amplitude signifies the effect of the damping. Now what about this angular frequency, omega prime? The expression for omega prime is as follows. It is given by the square root of the spring constant over the mass of the block minus the damping constant squared over 4m squared. You can see from these expressions smooth transition to simple harmonic motion that we have dealt with in our previous video if we set b to 0, or if the system has no damping whatsoever. This will simply becomes a cosine omega prime t, and omega prime is just square root k over m. We also see that when b equals 2 times square root m times k, the kind of damping that we are dealing with is known as critical damping. If b is greater than 2 times square root mk, we call this as overdamping. And in this case, the system will not oscillate. And when b is less than that critical value, this is called the underdamping. That causes diminishing amplitude for the oscillation. Another important result is associated with its total mechanical energy. Now, since the amplitude is diminishing, the total mechanical energy will also diminish due to the presence of damping. And when the damping is small enough, this expression is given by the following formula: half k, the original or the initial amplitude, squared times the damping factor e to the power bt over the mass of the block. And as you can see, as time progresses, the total mechanical energy of that system will go down in value. Now let's look at the problem. A damped simple harmonic oscillator has a block mass of 0.3 kg. The spring constant of the spring is 80 Newton per meter. The damping constant is 50 grams per second. Find the approximate period of the motion, and also how long does it take for the mechanical energy to drop to half its initial value. The first thing to note is the value of the damping constant, which is given to be 50 grams per second, or 0.05 kg per second. And let's compare this value to 2 times square root of spring constant times the mass, which is 2 times square root. K is 80, mass is 0.3, and that's going to be, which is 9.8 with the same unit, kg per second. And you see B is so much smaller than that value. And the idea is the period is approximately that of the undamped oscillator due to the smallness of that damping constant. So for part A, we can simply calculate the period using the usual formula for the undamped case, which is just that. So 2 pi, the mass of the block is 0.3 kg, K is 80, and that's going to give you the period in seconds. And the answer is 0.38 seconds for the approximate period. Now let's do part B, associated with mechanical energy. Now we know the value of the mechanical energy drops, and it's given approximately for such a small damping by the following expression: half times the spring constant times the initial amplitude squared times that exponential factor e to the power minus bt over m. We want to find the time for which this number becomes half of initial value of energy. Initial value of energy is when t equals to 0. That means half k square of the initial amplitude. So you see this will go away. They cancel each other. We end up with an equation that looks like this: e to the power bt over m equals half. Now let's take natural logarithm of both sides. You will get e bt over m natural log of e, which is just 1. The right hand side, the natural log of half, is just minus the natural log of 2. So this becomes equal to each other. You see the negative goes away, and we can solve the time for which this happens. And when you solve for the time, you get the mass times natural log of 2 over the damping constant. Now the mass is given to be 0.3 kg times natural log of 2. The damping constant is 0.05 kg per second, 0.05. And that's going to give you the time in seconds, which is 4.2 seconds approximately. And that solves the problem. Problem 2. For the damped harmonic oscillator shown below, the block's mass is 2 kg, the spring constant of that spring is 10 Newton per meter, the damping constant is 0.25 kg per second. If the block is pulled 15 cm and released, so that 15 cm is the initial amplitude, find the time required for the amplitude of the oscillations to decrease to 1/4 of its initial value. How many oscillations does the block make in this time? Due to damping, the amplitude of such a system will reduce according to the following equation. The original amplitude A times e to the power minus b over 2m times t. So what is the time of that little t when A becomes 1/4 of the original amplitude, which is capital A? That's what we want to know. So when the amplitude is 1/4 the original value, 1/4 of the original amplitude A, The right hand side is a e to the power minus b over 2m times the time. Let's call that time capital T. So the a goes away, and we can take the natural log of both sides of this equation. You get natural log of 1 over 4 equals the natural log of this entire thing, which is minus b over 2m capital T natural log of e. Natural log of e is 1. So the left hand side is simply natural log of 4 with a minus sign in front, and the right hand side is minus b over 2m times the capital T, which is what we are looking for. And you see the minus goes away, and you can solve for the time. Time is just 2 times the mass of the block over the damping constant times the natural log of 4, which is 2 times the mass, which is 2 kg. The damping constant is 0.25 kg per second times natural log of 4, and that's going to give you a value of 22.2 seconds for the answer. Now let's do part B. How many oscillations does the block make in this time? We can approximate the period, let's call it T prime, as 2 pi over omega prime. Now we know what omega prime is. Substituting that omega prime, you get 1 over square root k over m minus b over 2m squared. Substituting the constants inside this equation, you will get k is 10 Newton per meter, mass is 2 kg, minus b is 0.25 over 2 times mass. Mass is again 2 kg, 2 times that is 4 squared in seconds. And that's going to be 2.811 seconds. And to determine the number of oscillations does the block make in this time, we simply take the capital T that we determined in part A and divide that by this T prime that we have just obtained, and you get 22.2 seconds over 2.811 seconds, and that's going to give you about 7.9 oscillations. Thank you for watching.